You're finding yourself doubting yourself quite frequently. And then you find yourself in thoughts of, oh my God, I knew that. Or I had a feeling, something told me. You find yourself so often in that position, and then you feel some regret, maybe some shame. And your inner intuition, your inner knowing is your most powerful GPS system, your most powerful navigating system for your life. So I'm going to go over 3 reasons why you're not trusting yourself, you're not trusting your intuition or not following your intuition. The third is at the core, and then what you can actually start doing about it today. And I just want to mention, if you want to start clearing out the self-doubt, doing the somatic work to clear the self-doubt, to really trust your intuition, I do have an Empress Journey below on finally trusting your intuition to take you from the distrust in self to actually hearing and trusting and following your intuition. Number 1, past mistakes. How often do you look back and think, oh my God, wondering, was it my intuition? Was it my ego? Can I trust myself? All the memories in your mind, thinking of all the mistakes you've made and determined that you are never going to make them again. So now you start doubting yourself. Anytime something comes up for you, you start to doubt, can I make this right decision? And sometimes your decision is just to stay exactly where you are, even though you're not fully comfortable exactly where you are because of past mistakes and not wanting to repeat them. And sometimes we need to go through those past mistakes. We need to go through some of that shit. So a lot of times what happens is we're not following our intuition, we're following our ego. But the reason why we need to follow our ego is because we need to experience something in order to clear up what's underneath. And then it sharpens us even further than to follow our intuition. So mistakes, sometimes you needed to make them in order to wake up, in order to elevate. Also remember, your past moments, that is what you knew at that time. Now you are at a different time. Every moment, and the more growth that you do and the more awakening and realizing of who you really are inside of you and about life and everything, you're in a different space. So now you're in a different space each time to make a decision from another angle. So that was then. That was like, that's over and done with. That was you over there. That was you at the time, and you did what you needed to do for you at that moment. And maybe you needed to do that at that moment in order for you to experience something, to elevate, to bring you into the now. So we could call it a mistake, but a good portion of the time, you needed to go through that. Number 2, your ego is rejecting what your intuition is telling you. A lot of the times this happens. This is a big one because your intuition might be telling you to walk away from a certain situation, but your ego is too scared to because it's comfortable there. It doesn't matter what it is. I've had this happen to me in relationships, in jobs, all of it. Usually what ends up happening is after a lot of inner work, I then take my steps and go towards my intuition, or something externally happens. The universe, things shift around and, booted me out of that job. Things would end up happening where it's like, oh, gotta go now. So it's going to be one or the other. You either follow your intuition or something in life will happen that gets you having to move. You're going to be forced to move or make a decision at some point. But a lot of times it is your ego that's stopping you. Your ego wants to keep you safe. Bottom line, that's all it's trying to do is keep you safe, keep you in the status quo, even if you're not comfortable in that space, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it brings some anxiety or any of that. And yes, until the anxiety, the anxiousness, the discomfort of staying where you are is stronger than taking that chance, taking a leap of trust, a leap of knowing and trusting your intuition is stronger. A lot of times people don't make changes because the discomfort of the now has to be stronger than the discomfort of taking that leap, of jumping. And that's where the magic is. Just that makes me kind of excited when I think about it because it's really exciting. So it's working with your ego, getting in touch with your ego, connecting with your ego. What's going on? What are you scared of? And then that also helps you distinguish whether it's your intuition and your ego as well. the more you get to know the voice of both of them. The third is childhood emotions. So when you're a child, how often did you hear, why are you feeling like that? Why are you sad? Why are you upset? Why are you scared? You shouldn't feel this way. You're ashamed for how you felt. That develops a lack of trust in self. That teaches you that what you're feeling, what you're sensing in your body is incorrect. It is wrong. So this right here is the key piece that holds the rest of it together. The rest of it just becomes pretty much evidence at the end of the day. The core is the childhood. So when we're younger, so often we'd be crying about a situation or not comfortable around certain people. And we'd always be pushed to do something different, to not trust our energy, to not trust how we feel internally. It's very, very simple. There was always this teaching of do not trust what you're feeling. Do not trust what's inside. So now, because you are taught not to trust your internal, even though, let's say, in a certain moment, there was no need to be scared of something because it was perfectly fine. As a child, still, you are learning your emotions. You're learning your internal world as well. So that's then causes the issue of no longer trusting your intuition as you get older and trusting more of people outside of you, people telling you how to live, people telling you how to be, people telling you what life should be like and how you should live your life and how you should feel and all of that. You start putting your own inner power and your trust and your knowing and your intuition, your own inner guidance system on others to guide you, on others to tell you how to live. So what can you do to start working on this today? Number one, remembering these. In every moment, remembering. And with number two, let's say, for example, training yourself to sit there and hear, is this my ego? Is this my intuition? And notice the difference. The intuition is usually gentle. It's an inner knowing and it's softer, it's quieter. There's usually no emotion involved. Actually, I don't know if I've ever had any emotion involved unless then my ego came in. The ego has the fear. The ego has the emotion. The intuition, it's a simple, neutral knowing, and that's it. If you want to dive deeper, like I mentioned before on the Empress Journey, on releasing the distrust of yourself, of not trusting your intuition, working on that deeper somatic level. I do have Finally Trusting Your Intuition. The link is below, like I mentioned. And also what I will do is I will connect a tapping video that I also created. It's a short tapping on releasing the distrust and really bringing in that knowing that you can trust yourself and trusting your intuition.